One thing is certain, I would never drive it that way, and I definitely wouldn't attempt to sell it that way, so we're going to replace everything. Welcome back, everybody. This is the 1974 Stingray barn find restoration. Have a few minutes to spare this afternoon, so we're going to work on this a little bit. We're going to replace rotors, calipers, some brake lines, and pads. The parts are starting to filter in fast and furious. The rotors, calipers, pads, hoses. I also ordered all of the gaskets and hoses and wires that I thought I would need and definitely need to replace. So, hey, without further ado, let's get going on this thing. Turn the wheel all the way to the right so the caliper faces out towards you, makes it easier to work on. I have a catch pan underneath there to catch any dust or dirt or fluid that could drop down. And the first thing we're going to do is remove the pin, and that holds the brake pads in place, just held in by a pin and cotter pin. You'll see these are brand new, but they're done for because the caliper is leaking. It is a double-sided caliper with 4 pistons, and I believe they all are leaking. We'll see when we get it apart. These here are the 2 bolts, 5/8, that hold the caliper on. I already had those sprayed, so they've been soaking, so they'll come off rather quickly. I have my breaker / torque bar ready to crack them loose. Then we'll switch over to the air tool and run the bolts out the rest of the way. With the 2 bolts removed, the caliper will slide away from the rotor. We'll just set it right on top because we still need to disengage the brake line, the rubber brake line that goes to the frame. That also is 5/8, but you just need a little wrench for that. Open end's fine. I had that soaking in the Schaefer's Penetrol 90 for the last hour or so, and we're going to hold it still and spin the caliper right off of the line. Pull that hose back through the suspension, lay it on top. We have some things to remove there, but let me show you the caliper. As I said, it's a split caliper with 4 pistons, and they all are leaking. The rubber brake line attaches to the metal brake line coming over from the master cylinder, and they attach right there in the frame. There's a pin that holds them on, and then we just unscrew the metal line from the rubber hose. And that's going to be it for that. We can remove it, replace it with a brand new one. We'll bring the new caliper over to the table and the new brake hose. We'll uncap the new caliper, insert the new hose, and then that'll be ready to go. Run back over to the car, straighten the steering wheel out once again. Next part is real fun. Thanks to GM, they rivet the rotor right onto the hub. So we have to drill all 5 of those out. And I'm going to use a punch and get the center of that rivet so our drill bit does not walk around on us. Fortunate for us, the metal is real soft that they use there. The rivets are really soft. So we're going to start off with a 1/4 inch bit, and then we'll jump up to a 1/2 inch bit, and in no time at all, we'll have the caps or the tips of those rivets drilled off of there, popped off, and we can remove the rotor. Turn the wheel a little bit, grab the persuader, the name of the hammer here, and with a couple of little love taps, we're going to have the rotor off quickly. Sometimes, if they haven't been there very long, you can just punch the nubs of the rivets back through the hub. However, that's not happening today, so we will quick knock them off with the grinder, and after that, we need to clean up a bit. Time to slide the new rotor on and position it. Set the new caliper on there, get the bolts started. I'll run them all the way in by air and then torque them down with the torque wrench. The new brake pads are unpacked, so let's slide them in there. Make sure the pistons are all the way depressed, and they'll go in easily. Slide the pin through, the brake pads will be held in place, then we'll grab the new cotter pin and put that in as well. Let's attach the new brake line at the frame. And in no time at all, we're done. An easy job. This type of job is therapy to me. I love this just as much as I do working on the paint. I love rebuilding old, classic, and antique cars. I'll bring you along for the ride as many times as I can when I rebuild these. That's going to be it for today's video. If you're enjoying the content, please like, subscribe, share, and be sure to hit that notification bell. That'll let you know when we have fresh content for you guys to view.